honey.
Hey guys, Tatiana Ward here with BEATFACEHONEY.com, and thank you so much for joining me. It's my first tutorial here on YouTube in so long, and I don't even know what to do with myself. I started my journey here on YouTube 4 years ago. This journey has led me all the way to Hollywood, very much by the grace of God and the people who have rallied behind me to see my success. I've been out in the world doing what I set up to do and prayed to do on my very first interaction with you guys. And all I wanted to do was makeup. And I wanted to do makeup for celebrities. That drive took me from my parents' basement where my very first video was recorded to my best friend's windowsill in Northeast Philadelphia, and since to screens across the world telling my story of hope and how I came from nothing and I'm still trying to make my way into something. I call the people that have followed me for so long my Beat Face Brigade. That's your name. And I call you that because I feel as though you're just an army of good spirits who have been placed in my life to make me better and to make me succeed. And there are some of you who have been following me since day one, and there are some of you who just joined yesterday. I haven't been back on YouTube in a long time because I've been in hotel rooms traveling around with mainly Nicki Minaj right now, my biggest client, my only client. I'm so blessed to have her as a client because she's so busy, but I cannot leave out the people who got me to be in a position to where I'm chasing around a megastar. So for you, Beat Face Brigade, I fancied up my room in my house in Philly. I bought a fancy new camera. You can't see it, but I bought a fancy new desk. And I bought a fancy new backdrop. I plan to come to you as much as I possibly can with exactly what helped get me to the point where I'm so busy that I can't do this. So, this is my triumphant return to YouTube, and I did this. If you care to learn how I did this very fall-time, fall-appropriate look, I hope you'll stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm gonna start by filling out my eyebrows. I am using MAC's Spiked Brow Pencil, and I'm just sharpening out my brow. I'm making the extension of it a little bit thicker, and then with small strokes, I'm filling in the brow. I'm also gonna add to the top of it. I'm taking this product. This is my eyeshadow base. This is MAC's Painterly Paint Pot, and you'll notice that I'm just using my finger and blending that in over my lid. Going back to the brow, I'm going to take the same product that I used to prime my lid, and I'm going to use that to sculpt my eyebrow even further. And I've dipped a little bit of that product onto this angled synthetic haired brush. I'm going to take the product and the brush and run it alongside the edge of my brow. And you see automatically that just made my brow a whole lot more sculpted. Now that the eyelid is primed and now that we've sculpted our brow to where we want it, I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. Everybody knows that I love Sigma Cosmetics brushes. I started out using Sigma Cosmetics brushes and buying them, and I still buy them to this day. However, because I've supported them so much, they send me products as well. So this is something that I didn't buy, but I love. First of all, it's just really cool to see where this company has come from. I know when I was buying them back in the day, they were sending me their products in like little mesh tied up bags. As a company, they have grown, and as an artist, I have grown, and it's really cool to see them evolve into this company that has like super cool packaging. I've never seen anything like this for brushes before. So when you open this, it folds out into like 3 compartments, And then, see if you can see this, when you open these flaps, you get 3 different sets of brushes. Underneath this video, you can find a link to where you can shop Sigma cosmetic brushes, which is a great way to start building your brush kit. Sigma is not only where I started building my brush kit, but it's also where I stopped because I'm now doing celebrity makeup and I'm doing it with Sigma brushes. I'm taking Sigma's E20 Short Shader Brush. It's just a flat brush. I'm dipping into All That Glitters, this beautiful color from MAC. A great under eye shimmer. And you can see just with putting that right under my brow, I always start with what's called the highlight. The highlight is the color that shimmers and goes under the brow. And you see that just catches light when I turn my head. Taking my E35 Sigma Tapered Blending Brush, I'm dipping into this reddish brown from Makeup Forever. Number 13 eyeshadow from Makeup Forever. So I'm putting that color right at the crease. I don't want you to focus on the product that I have or the amount that I paid for it. I want you to exercise your creativity whenever I show you something. I'm going to show you the names of something, but that does not mean that that's the end all be all. You can go and use whatever you have. You can buy something for a lesser amount. As long as your artistry is up to par, you can use whatever product. I always say I could beat a face with CoverGirl. And I bet you I could. I haven't tried it, but I'm sure I could because I know my technique and I know makeup. I'm taking an even deeper brown. This is Makeup Forever as well, and it's the number 28. Using my same E35 Sigma brush, I've moved my brush down like 2 millimeters. I say this all the time. That is the key to blending properly. Now I'm going to take my Sigma F63. The hairs aren't as spread out as the brush that I just used. And because of that, I'll be able to get a more concentrated color. This is one of my favorite super dark black browns. It's not black, it's a very dark brown. This is also Makeup Forever. I'm concentrating that right at the crease of the eye. I have 4 colors on my lid at this point, but the point is so that you don't see where one ends and the next begins. It's looking like a little bit of a mess. I'm going to take MAC's Coppering. Taking that same brush that I put down that first light color with, I'm putting that right in my lid. I'm only putting it like a third of the way of my lid though. Now I'm going to take Ambering Lights. This is Golden Bronzy. And quite frankly, I'm just going to put my finger in that and just dab that in the middle of my lid, overlapping with the reddish color that I put on the inside of the lid. Again, just taking my finger and blotting it on the outer edge of the eye. And my instinct when I first started doing my own makeup was to use my fingers. I just find that it blends better. So to learn that the legendary Pat McGrath, she uses her fingers to blend, and that made me feel really, really good. So that's my validation, and that's why I can do it, because Pat McGrath uses her fingers. Alright, so now I have a complete mess. It just looks sloppy out here on the end. So I'm going to take a wet wipe. Clean up any fallout that may have gotten underneath the eye. And then when I get to the edge of my eye, I'm just going to pull outward. You see how that just cleaned up the edges of my eye? And I'm going to use my phalanges again to put on my concealer. This is MAC's Studio Finish Concealer. Taking my finger, just blotting it under my eye. Looks crazy light right now. That's because I need all the help I can get because I'm an old lady and I have bags and circles. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I scream it from the rooftops. Don't ever buy a pink beauty blender. A lot of you probably don't even realize that they make beauty blenders in black. Yes, they do. Beauty blender is an awesome sponge. It's an expensive sponge, but it's a worth it sponge. I use this on every client. I know a lot of you have heard a lot about Ben Nye's Banana Powder. I like to put my Ben Nye in a jar like this. I happen to have stolen that jar from my business partner and friend, Rennie Vasquez. Don't tell him. psych, he already knows. I'm always stealing his stuff. Not intentionally, but I always walk away from our Beauty and the Beat classes with something of his. And this I never gave back. Don't judge me. It's just like a Tupperware plastic jar, but I can now see why he transferred it in here, because it's easier to get a sponge in here. I've taken an angled sponge, and this banana powder, I'm patting it, not rubbing it. This is how I'm going to set my under eye concealer. You see it's uneven. I'm just taking, what is this, my Sigma. Ugh, it's so old, this brush, that it's got the old Sigma numbering system that doesn't even exist anymore. So I don't exactly know what this is called, but it's a Sigma large, I think it's like a contour brush, but I'm using it for whatever the hell I want to use it for. Kind of like I do all other brushes, and I'm wiping away the excess of that banana powder. You have to understand when you're watching me, I'm catering products to how I use them on myself. This does not mean that that's how I use them on my clients. In fact, the banana powder and most of the way that I do face makeup is entirely different than I do it on myself. If you ever want to learn how I do a face and the faces that you see me posting on Instagram, you need to attend one of my classes. And the next class is going to be in DC, and my amazing partner Renny Vasquez and I are going to be announcing that date very, very soon. But we're trying to make our way across the United States in major cities to where people can come and learn how we do a face on a third party. So I'm showing you how I do makeup on me, and in my classes I teach you how I do makeup on other people. If you're a long-time follower, you know what this is. This is my Wet n Wild gel eyeliner. I'm gonna take this brush that's so like super almost hard to see because the head of it is so tiny and fine. It is the Sigma eyeliner brush. It's the E11 is the number. Dipping that into my eyeliner, I'm taking small strokes and beginning to create the winged eyeliner that you see here. I'm using the shape that I created right here as my guideline. When I wiped away my eyeshadow and created that harsh line and then went over it with concealer and kind of softened it, that's creating a guideline for where I want my wing to be. I'm also going to take that Wet n Wild eyeliner. Alright, my favorite lashes, if you follow me on Instagram, these are the only lashes that I ever really wear on myself, for myself. These are number 43s. So while I'm waiting for my lash to dry, I'm going to take this Sigma Cosmetics E32. You'll recall that after I put down the lightest color underneath the brow, that shimmery shiny, I put on this reddish brown. I'm going to put that under my lash line. I'm putting that all up in there. And taking my Sigma E21, I'm going to get up into that dark brown. Same one we used in the crease of the eye. And I'm going to very carefully rub that, not being so reckless as I was with the reddish brown. I'm rubbing that right onto my lash line. All right, and that completes the eye. Nothing, however, completes an eye like mascara. I use drugstore brands. I believe that if you add mascara to a false lash and allow the lash to slightly clump together, it makes it more believable. So there you have it. Ooh, ooh, ah! I forgot to tell you about this right here, the Shazam on the inner tear duct right there. I'm gonna take my E30 synthetic haired pencil brush. That was Sigma as well. I'm taking Magnolia Makeup. It's like a combination of the two colors that I put on my lid, but just they're combined. That's how it looks. Putting that on my dampened Sigma brush, and I'm just placing that right at my tear duct. Okay, I'm gonna contour my cheeks with a MAC Mineralized powder. It's a pressed powder. You can use that as a setting powder. You can use it as whatever you want. Using my Sigma F35, it's pointed. You can see from one side to the next, you can see there's definition right here. Doing the same on the other side. Know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take Coppering. This is an eyeshadow for MAC. I'm just gonna put it right onto the ball of my cheek. This is an eyeshadow and I'm using it as blush. And guess what, honey? that eyeshadow just paid me. And for my lips, I'm going to use a product that one of my students who attended my Beauty in the Beat class with Rennie Vasquez brought both he and I her product line. And I love meeting you guys. The best place to meet you is at the Beauty in the Beat classes. And I'm able to share so much more than I am here in YouTube form. This lipstick, which is really pretty, and I think it's gonna look really, really nice for this look. It's obviously new, I've never used it. Ew, I never checked the label, but it's called Sex on Heels. You gotta say it like that though. Sex on Heels. Okay, I'm gonna give you my honest reaction to this. I was expecting it to be a little bit more dark. I'm gonna rock with it though because I like it. I like the way it feels on my lips. I hate to get all deep on you, but half of life and part of life is how you perceive things. Just because you perceived it wrong doesn't make it or you wrong. The lipstick is very, very pretty. It's not what I expected, but it's still really pretty and it goes with the look and I'm happy with it. Okay, so that completes the look and I'm so, so, so grateful to be back. It's just a really awesome feeling. I pray that I continue to climb the ladder of personal success. And I pray that you'll continue to be patient with me and climb with me. Thank you guys so much. I pray I'll see you right back here very soon.